Hello, happy Thursday, everyone. Here is Greg Dixon with the Note Show, and today our guest is uh, Emin Muhammad, and he's involved with short-term rentals, vacation rentals, and has a program on property management. And so, Emin, maybe you can introduce yourself, say what you do, and if you've got a little bit of a presentation you want to walk people through, that's good too.
Oh, awesome. Hey, thanks, Greg. Thank you so much for having me. And welcome to everyone who's live streaming and out there in TV world. And today we're going to talk about my company, which is Kobe Coco Vacation and Short-Term Rentals. And really, my North Star is continual improvement. And that can be both personal or business-wise. Continual improvement. Unlocking massive success through continual improvement, or CI. Greg?
Yeah, that's perfect. So we had a little chat. We met on a networking group a while ago, and then it just seems that we had a lot of things in common. You were interested in what I was doing with story productions, and I guess you probably don't know a whole lot about what we're doing here with the Note Center. Is I've been involved with a group in San Diego that does mortgage note investing, and so I've got to know a lot of people who are doing all kinds of different things related to real estate investing, and including some people who are investing in buying properties and developing properties. And so I think they might want to know what you're doing with your short-term rentals and also the vacation rentals. I'm a consumer of vacation home rentals myself, and so maybe you can just explain what you're doing with those.
Well, great. Again, my North Star is continual improvement, and it does apply to short-term rental properties in general. And you know the old adage, you can't teach a new dog new tricks. Well, if you have a continual improvement plan, you'll find that that is a false statement. So, yeah, with vacation rentals, what we do is we help landlords transform their rental properties from traditional long-term rentals to short-term rentals. And there's so many. It's really complicated, in that oftentimes a homeowner or a landlord will go right into Airbnb and create a listing, which is not the most optimal way to perform. You really should go really setting standards for yourself. Create your improvement plan. Create a plan for transformation, and that's what we help our landlords do. Create that plan and then execute. During today's talk, I want to go through some of the steps we use in order to transform your rental property. And just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I started out in technology years ago, developing software for, both state and local government, in addition to Fortune 500 companies. And we went through the entire software development lifecycle. And I'm going to show you guys or explain to you how we use that foundation for continual improvement, starting with building out your requirements and understanding if it's feasible or not. So we'll get into that in a few minutes.
No, that sounds great. So, what area are your rentals in right now? What part of the country?
Our rentals are predominantly in the greater Boston area, the South Shore, the Cape, and Boston province itself. We also have a secondary location in the greater New York area, but our main practice is in the greater Boston area. Great homes, oceanfront, and so what we do is we manage other homeowners, other landlords' properties, and we just started our e-learning series where we can teach, because if you only relegated to the Northeast, in my case, Greater Boston and New York, how do those landlords on the West Coast, how do those landlords in Canada and international, how are we able to help them really take advantage of this great area of rental property? Long gone are the days of being handcuffed to a long-term tenant for a year or more, and I want to teach those landlords how they can do it from themselves.
Yeah. So you're not necessarily looking to expand your operation out beyond the east of your Boston and New York area, but you're looking to teach other people to do what you do. Is that a good?
That is correct. Yeah. And using our proven method or formula. Yeah, for sure. And oftentimes what I ask homeowners from the start is, what type of mindset they are. Is it a fixed mindset where, you really, I've been doing this for 30 years. I have no interest, not that you don't continue to improve, but you have your fixed mindset and you're not open. And then I oftentimes ask them the three. Are you a growth mindset? Where you're looking to really improve every day. And the same with developmental, or you just looking to, process of learning. And our ideal client is really in a process of continual learning and personal development. And that is the developmental mindset. So we try to set that baseline right off the start when we talk to our folks.
That's great. So with the properties that you've acquired, are they standalone residences, or are they more commercial buildings like multi-family buildings, or what is your main interest there?
Well, our main properties, and we can handle both commercial and residential, but our main properties are residential homes, typically a single family home. We also have multi-unit rentals, and you have to be real careful with regulations as far as multi-unit. You may have a condo association that you need to get buy-in from. And also from a regulation standpoint, you might have, state and local regulations that you need to be aware of at the same time. So to answer your question, yes, we do handle mostly residential, but especially with today's commercial market, it's something that a landlord would really should look at really hard at considering transformation with regards to his commercial space, because people aren't buying, storefronts anymore. So what are you doing with those places? It's amazing.
Yeah. And I'm in a little town in British Columbia right now, and there are quite a few buildings, and they're kind of multi-use. And many of them have a storefront on the main street, and then they have either in the basement or upstairs, they have some people living in those. Sometimes the owners are living in them. So, yeah. I had a friend in one of my artist group, and he bought a commercial property in Vancouver in an area called Gastown, which is a little bit on the sort of artsy and seedy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He bought the whole building, fixed the front up to be a bit of an art gallery. And then he has the middle part is a, kitchen and a little living room. And then he's got a bedroom in the back. But, I don't know if you know anything about Vancouver real estate prices, but my joke is $500,000 will buy you a really nice chicken coop, right?
No.
But, yeah, it's just outrageously expensive. But I think he bought the entire building and renovated it for less than $500,000. So,
wow, interesting.
That was quite a few years ago, but still, commercial real estate in some areas can be a pretty good deal financially.
Interesting. Was he struggling to make a profit prior to that change?
Oh no, he had an engineering job. He didn't need any other source of money. He wanted a place to live, and he likes creating art and selling the art. So he yeah, he didn't have an issue with the money. He didn't do that because he had to. He just wanted to.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah. So, our target market are landlords who are struggling to make a profit on their investment in property, and we teach them how to triple their rental income. And because I'm a technologist, we really focus on streamlining operations with the help or support of technology. Really important, because you want to have a hands-off approach to really making money really while you sleep. And if you have the know-how and the technology in place, you can really be really successful. Our landlords typically dislike housing long-term tenants. And why would they dislike housing long-term tenants? Well, long-term tenants aren't paying their rent on time. Really, they're handcuffed to your house. You don't have access to your home anymore. You may as a result, your maintenance may suffer if you don't have great tenants in there. And property managers and realtors, we help those folks because as a realtor, and I started my career as a realtor, and I focused on rentals. And really, the margins for renting a home were really horrible. So we teach them to look at a different model also, and also obviously real estate investors who look into make a profit. So those are really our target markets, Greg.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So I know like the part of our group, I've invited some of our little networking group to come attend today, and I'm going to put the article I posted a little bit about you, and with links to your rental site, and also to link to sign in for your free opt-in, your free download guide, and then make an appointment with you. And we connected through LinkedIn, so I know you're on LinkedIn.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, Greg. Yeah, it's really a great program. And we real quickly, just to go over the steps, what we do is we have 7 really main areas for continual improvement, and
okay.
it's the same with systems development. We build out requirements based on your vision, your goals. That's the first. For example, you might need to identify a need for furnishings. May need to identify which home you're going to rent. What are those requirements? What are your goals? Your goals, are they too lofty, or is it possible? And the same with systems development. Those are the two, the early phases of systems development. What are the requirements, and is it possible? Feasibility study. So interesting. And then we just start to build out your blueprint for short-term rentals. And to illustrate, you might create a floor plan, for example, and you want to really optimize the guest experience. So the program that we offer is really all inclusive. And then after your design, you go into development. Let's development that short-term rental, what we just designed out. Same as software development. You go through the steps. And then we actually start the implementation. We're listing your property either on your website or what we call an online travel agency, OTA. That's implementation. Software also. When you build that product, you implement that product. And then obviously operations is kind of like an ongoing thing, guest fulfillment. How do you record revenue? How do you record expenses? And then you iterate that continual improvement plan. You see what's working, see what's not working, and improve upon that. So we take you through those seven steps or phases of the life cycle, and make sure you have an optimal continual improvement plan with regards to rentals, vacations.
That's great. Yeah, so I posted out as you were making those comments. I posted them out in in the chat, and again, people are invited to find Emin on LinkedIn. And there's an article that I put in the chat here, posted one more time, that has a bit more of his background and links to his download and also to his rentals site, so you can see what he's doing with the short-term rentals.
Thanks again, Greg, for having me. I so much appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. And we'll are we good for now?
I think we're good. If anyone's interested in really making unlocking major success through rentals, just make sure you reach out. The link that you sent really answers a lot of questions, and it can also act as FAQ, where you can really get a deeper understanding.
Awesome. So happy Thursday, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Note Show.
Thanks, everyone, for attending.